All the candidates, you guys good? Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just about to hit 6 o'clock.
I'm good.
You're on? We're good? Okay, we'll go ahead and get started now. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Holverson, and I'm the president of the DeSoto Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council. It is my honor to moderate tonight's forum. On behalf of the DeSoto Chamber and the Johnson County Public Policy Council, thank you for joining us today. The Johnson County Public Policy Council, comprised of the 10 chambers of commerce serving Johnson County and the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce, developed today's questions focusing on education and workforce issues. We will start with brief 2-minute opening statements by each candidate, followed by Q&A of 6 questions, where candidates will have 1 minute to answer the question. At the conclusion of the forum, each candidate will have 2 minutes to make a closing statement. Due to time constraints, there will be no follow-up questions, formal rebuttal time, or audience participation. Please note the candidate's speaking order has been determined before the forum began and will rotate throughout the program. Ultimately, it will make sense, but it's going to seem a little confusing to you at first. It's going to be by position 4, 5, 6, alphabetical within 4, 5, 6, and then it will flip for the next question.
Okay.
Hopefully that's clear as mud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. I want to draw your attention to Zach. He is our timekeeper, and he has signs for 1 minute remaining, 30 seconds remaining, and stop. Stop, yeah, stop does not have to be a hard stop. We want to encourage you to finish your thought, but don't go on to a new thought. I think if you run a certain amount of time past that, then a very annoying alarm will sound. But that's about it. We've got Laura here's recording this, and this will ultimately be posted on the votejoco.com website. Give us a couple of days to get that loaded on that site so that you'll be able to then access it. We do promise that your name will be spelled correctly on there, and there will be subtitles with it. The subtitles, you've all seen threads and reels that don't maybe translate things quite accurately. That is possibly what's going to happen. We're not going to go through word for word for the entire hour or so of the event and do that. But in general, we promise to have your name in there correctly. So with that, I would now like to introduce the candidates in alphabetical order within their board position number and ask them to give a 2-minute opening statement providing background on themselves and why they are qualified to serve on the USD 232 school board. Within your remarks, we would ask that you please include why you are seeking this office. So with that, starting with school district position number 4, Lucy Rumsey DeWitt.
Thank you so much for hosting it this evening. My name is Lucy Rumsey DeWitt, and my family moved to the DeSoto district in 1995. I started my 7th grade year at Lexington Trails and graduated from DeSoto High School in 2001. I went on to graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communications from Baker University. I've been married to my husband Steve for 14 years, and we have 2 children. Our daughter Collins is 10, and she attends school at Mize. Our son is 11, and his name is Lanning, and he has dyslexia and dysgraphia, and attends a private school that just caters to language-based disabilities, and we are looking forward to his return to the district next fall. My husband and I moved our family into the district when our children were 2 and 1. We knew that we wanted to raise our kids in such a great district. We started our educational journey with parents as teachers, and through their amazing work, they helped us identify our son's dyslexia early. And I want to continue to give back to the district that gave so much to me and continues to give things to my family. I was a funeral director for many, many years, and that makes me uniquely qualified to work with people under stressful circumstances and show empathy and understanding in difficult situations. I'll bring a listening ear and the ability to problem solve to this role. Another qualification is my children attend the district. I have a neurotypical child and I have a child in special education. And so through those 2 kids, I have a unique understanding of what parents go through with these awesome kiddos. Sitting through IEPs, trying to understand data, homework battles, they are unique and beautiful and should be celebrated. Just because their brain works a little bit differently than ours just means that they need a little bit more help and just a little bit more from educators to succeed.
Thank you. Next, Nancy Moneymaker.
Thank you for hosting this forum. My name is Nancy Moneymaker. Position 4 is what I'm running for. And why is because thinking of my grandchildren's future and all the situations and decisions made at the national, the state, and the local DeSoto School District level has led me to run for this office. With well-rounded experience in many educational areas, business ownership, scientific laboratory experience, and more, I'm running for you and your voice and with my vote so that you can be heard. In this stage of life of grown kids and grandkids, 6 of them, I have the time to dedicate myself fully to this task. And I would appreciate your vote, and you can find more about me at nancymoneymaker.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, moving to school district position 5, we'll first hear from Christian Amend.
Hello, my name's Christian. My last name's Amend, long A.
Sorry.
It's kind of more Germany, long A over the end. Anyway, I'm not here for politics. I just came here to try to help my kids out. I started my career in the Air Force. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, and then I went to college after that. So I earned a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and now I'm a professional engineer. I'm registered in Washington, Kansas, and Missouri, and there's been more states, but right now those are the ones. I first came to Kansas City because of DeWitt power engineers. So we built power plants. You probably have seen the buildings coming up down there in Lenexa. When I started working for DeWitt, it was like one level of a building down on Metcalf, and now it's like 5 buildings in Lenexa. So it's going crazy, but it was a great way to start my career. Since then, I was traveling all over the world, and I wanted to stay home more with my kids. So I started my own business. Now I run an inspection company in Shawnee that I started in Shawnee. And I just really love Mill Valley. We've moved here originally out of coincidence, and then we moved back intentionally, and now we live like 2 doors down. We can see the football games, and we just love this place. So I'm really here to make sure my kids have a good education, and everyone else's kids. And I really don't have any intentions. I just think I'm good at making decisions. I'm an engineer, and I run a good business, so I'm just here to try to help make good decisions for our kids.
Thank you, Christian. And next, Calley Malloy.
Hi, my name is Calley Malloy, and I'm a mom to 2 students in the district, the daughter of a public school teacher, and a passionate community advocate. Over the past 4 years as your board member, I've had the honor of working alongside fellow board members, district leadership, teachers, and families to achieve meaningful progress for our students. We've accomplished a great deal together. We've maintained our status as the #2 school district in the state of Kansas. We've responsibly managed our finances and achieving the lowest mill levy since before 1993. We've also paid down our bond debt, saving local taxpayers nearly $2 million in interest. We also hired a new superintendent, which is one of the most important job duties as a board member. We've reduced class sizes, and we've maintained a 97.5 graduation rate, significantly exceeding the state average, and preparing our students for college and career readiness. This is just a snapshot of what we've done. I'm seeking this office because I look forward to continuing the excellence that is USD 232.
All right, thank you. And now we'll move to board position number 6, and we'll first hear from TJ Finan.
Good, thank you. Good evening, my name is TJ Finan. I'm honored to be here tonight to run for a position on the school board to give back to a district that's done so much for me and my family. We moved here in 2008. At the time, I was a supervisor for Transportation Security Administration up at the airport, and we started having children. and the airports don't close, so I had to do a career change. I've always wanted to coach, so I switched into being a substitute teacher to see if that's what I wanted to do. It took me about 5 months to realize that coaching and teaching was something I wanted to do, and I've always had a passion for special education. I was a paraeducator at Mill Valley High School for 3 years while getting my master's in special ed at Pittsburgh State University. I became dual licensed in low and high incidence coming out of Pitt State, and I got a job at Mill Valley as a special education teacher, excuse me. I worked there for 9 years in both the Connections classroom and the expanded resource room. Developed many relationships with both parents in the classroom and as a coach, coaching basketball, football, and baseball. The ties to the community are great, both business-wise and just family ties. I love what I do. I have a really good passion for education, and I think doing this to give back to all the people that have helped me in my professional career is something I want to do and serve. I have 4 children of my own. 3 are in the schools. I still have a little guy who's in preschool, so he'll be going to Mize Elementary next year or the year after, we haven't decided yet. But I want to do what's best for them in the community, make decisions that the school board does, and just be a part of something that I think truly is great. I worked in this system for a really long time, and when people ask me, like, what are you going to do to fix it? My answer is I just want to keep the wheels turning and make something that's already great even better. So anything I can do to help with that, I truly look forward to doing.
Great, thank you. And now we'll hear from Brandi Jonasson.
Hi, I'm Brandi Jonasson. I've served on the school board for the past 4 years and have been elected by the board as the vice president. I was raised in public education and have a BS in English from Emporia State University. I'm a wife, a small business owner, and we've lived in the district for 21 years. I'm a mom to 3 children that all started their educational journey at the preschool in USD 232. 2 have since graduated, and my youngest is a sophomore at Mill Valley. I started volunteering for teacher classrooms, making copies, field trips, anything I could to help teachers and advocate for them because of all the things that I saw my children experiencing out besides in a classroom, just teaching and learning. I thought it was tremendous what they were giving to my children, and I wanted to give back. I then joined the Prairie Ridge Parent Teacher Organization and was president for 3 years and fundraising chair after that for a very lot of years. That doesn't even make sense, but I volunteered at Monticello Trails in Mill Valley doing fundraising. I've always been passionate about public education, so I decided to run 4 years ago to advocate for teachers, staff, and students. During my time on the board, I'm proud of several accomplishments. We have voted for pay raises every year for teachers and staff. We hired a new superintendent whose vision and dedication to student achievement and excellence matched the board and the community's expectations. We've expanded real-world learning opportunities, giving our students the best chance of success after graduation. I am fully committed to making this school district the best it can be.
Great, thank you all. Now we will move on to the actual Q&A portion. I appreciate y'all giving us some background on why you're running. And candidates will have 1 minute to respond to each of the following questions, and we've got 6 questions that we're going to go through. And as you mentioned, we're going to rotate through. So now board position 5, it's your turn to go first, and we'll flip-flop that order. So we'll first hear from Calley. Okay. I should ask you the question. I went through all that explanation. As a candidate, what are your top 3 education policy issues?
And how much time do we have?
1 minute.
Okay. My top 3 are recruitment and retention of teachers and staff. That's a huge priority. During my time on the board, we've maintained year-over-year raises for teachers and staff. Last year and the year prior, we were able to give around 7% in raises and packages, competitive salaries that align with Johnson County districts that have been an attractor, but there's always work to do here, especially as we grow and expand. Another top priority is expanding real-world learning and STEM opportunities across our district, and another key priority is proactively to prepare for the significant growth our district is expected to experience in the coming years.
Great, thank you. Christian, as a candidate, what are your top 3 education policy issues?
think having clarity with our teacher or people throughout the community. Like, I feel like everyone should know what we're doing in the board. Sorry, that was very cluttered. But I just want people to know what's going on and have their voices heard with us. So like I have a business in the community, and I'm a networker, so I know a lot of business owners. So I feel like I'm good at communicating with everybody and making sure I know where everybody's coming from. So just letting everyone know what's going on. Teachers' salaries are really important. Fiscal responsibility is utmost to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. But I think getting less computer hands-on and more physical hands-on. I'm really into the trades, and I think people should learn how to weld and see things getting built in the school. And I know we have a special center for that, but I feel like it should be like, you just walk by a school or a room and see that going on. So just less computers and more fingers.
Okay, thank you. Now board position 6, and the first, Brandi. As a candidate, what are your top 3 education policy issues?
I'm going to sound a little bit like Calley here because my answers are very similar, but teacher recruitment and retention. Obviously, we want to attract the best talent and keep the best talent. That's what's going to be the best for our students. Student success and real world readiness. We have to prepare our students for the technology growth that is going on. It's ever changing, and whether that's for college, trade school, or the workforce, we have continuously got to monitor that and teach to that. And then financial responsibility and resource allocation. We only have a certain amount of funds, and we want to make sure that we use those responsibly.
Okay, thank you. TJ, would you like me to repeat the question?
Good.
Okay.
3 things I'd like to kind of focus on for issues would be funding and resources. That would be academic resources for technology, the tools and materials that students use in the classroom, and then also like facilities, the equipment and things we use with utilities, HVAC and everything, make sure they're running efficiently and we're using the most up-to-date technology we can with that to make sure we're saving as much money that we might be able to with our facilities. Also, I think staffing is a huge thing. It's not so much recruitment and retaining, but it's also while they're still being employees, targeted professional development, conferences that are teachers reach out, and kind of doing a streamlined pipeline leadership as far as, you know, students who start, like myself, I was a parent, I became a teacher. Well, maybe my next step would be administrator to a superintendent. Like, if there's people in the district that want that pipeline leadership, then we could find out early on how to mentor them to get where their big goal would be. I think that would be really cool. Student-related issues, whether it's their academics or social emotional well-being, inclusion and safety in our schools, those need to be a big priority that we look at also, as far as making sure all 4 of those categories are looked at to ensure that we are doing what's best for the kids and staff and personnel inside our schools.
Great, thank you. And now, position number 4, and Nancy, you're up first. Would you like me to repeat the question? Okay.
Well, first thing I would emphasize student achievement and bring those numbers up with the testing and the scoring and the process that they go through. We need to go for the subjects that are back to the basics. We need to concentrate, especially in grade schools, with reading, writing, and arithmetic. Emphasize phonics, and just go back to the basics with the teaching of the education of the grade school. And then go to the middle school and start having conversations and get critical thinking and a lot of history, government, things that they'll need to learn. And my second one would be the teachers. And I think that that's very important. We need to have the mentoring programs for the beginning teachers. We need to have higher pay, culture of appreciation, and a meaningful professional development would be awesome for the teachers and to keep them coming back, and everybody would want to be hired in our district. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lucy, would you like me to repeat the question? Okay.
I think the three biggest challenges that we face are teacher retention, and the teacher shortage that is coming up because educators are leaving. We want to continue to make USD 232 a district that teachers want to come to, and they want to teach our kids because they understand how well we do it and how supportive they are. I think growth is also something on there. Our district is exploding very quickly, and we need to be prepared for that. Another thing is student preparedness. I think back to when I was a student, and it was called VOTEC back then. And so getting those kids prepared for all, like, their life after school, and whether that's going to college or whether that's going into a trade, we need to make sure that whatever our kids are going to do, that they are fully prepared to do that.
Great. Thank you all. Now we'll move to the second question, and we'll be starting with board position 6 on this to give you all a heads up. The question is, what are your thoughts on K-12 education funding? That is just wide open, so TJ is going to start us off with that.
Thank you. Our funding, I think, in this district, we've done a really good job across the board, being fair, whether it's our buildings, the staff, the facilities we have with athletics and performing arts. What we have is really great. We passed a bond 4 or 5 years ago. They got finished up, and everything we have is great. Now, what I want to see kind of moving forward is the care and upkeep of those facilities to make sure when you get something nice and beautiful, you got to take care of it and make sure we're taking the time to do that. I'm not saying that it's bad now, I'm just saying that's kind of something I want to look at. And then also making sure, like I said, the tools for technology and special education and resources, all the things we can give our teachers to make them better and want to stay in this district. Just taking big picture funding and making sure we utilize all resources with that to cover all bases in the district.
Great. Brandi, would you like me to repeat it?
No, I'm
Okay.
good, thank you. I've had 3 conversations in the last 2 days about this, and so I feel like I'm gonna get on my soapbox again, but my 20-year-old son did not appreciate it today, so I think the state legislature needs to fully fund special education. The mandate is at 92%, we get 67%. As a school district, we really work hard to efficiently use our tax dollars, and we have the lowest mill levy rate in 30 years and have paid our own bond debt down early, saving taxpayers millions of dollars in interest. I believe we've taken care of our responsibility, but we need extra funding, or the funding that was allocated to, or supposed to be allocated to us, to pay our teachers more, to fund our special ed program. And as we do our best to make every tax dollar count, our district needs more support for all our special education and to pay teachers. And I'll continue to advocate for fair funding so every student has the resources and opportunities they need to succeed.
Okay. And now we'll hear from board position number 4, and Lucy, you're up first.
Would you repeat the question,
I would be
please?
happy to, yes. What are your thoughts on K through 12 education funding?
So I feel, for the most part, USD 232 does a fantastic job using their funds appropriately. I also think, as a mom of a kid in special ed, that fully funding special ed would be so fantastic. I think I read that the district had to come out of pocket $7 million to only fund the 92% and make up that difference. Imagine all of the things that we could do with $7 million, how much more we could pay teachers and paras, how many more programs that we could have for student preparedness. I think that, and all of those things are achieved by building relationships in the legislature with the people that actually make those policy decisions. Overall, as a product of USD 232, I feel like I received the best education. I was prepared, and I think even back then, funds were being used appropriately.
Thank you. Nancy, would you like me to repeat the question?
No.
Okay.
I think that, well, I know in my household, we pay 50% of our property tax goes to the USD 232. And I think think they use what we give them appropriately, but we need to reach out, go through the budget and try to find ways to be appropriate with our budget. And it's hard when you don't have a lot, and the federal government keeps saying that they're going to cut. The State Department has a task force to do the funding for next year, and so there's a lot of cuts being talked about there. So we're gonna have to learn how to do more with less, and I think we can. I don't think that we'll have to cut the things that we need, but maybe the things that we want will have to be trimmed down a bit. I know that public school students in Kansas, we spend $20,159 per student. And then for private school, they spend $10,583. And so there is ways that we could cut. So thank you.
Okay. Board Position 5, Christian.
I don't know a lot about our budget because I haven't done it yet, but I run a business and I have budgets and I know how to make it work better. I think we have awesome facilities. I mean, I love the school district. Like, we came here for a reason. We got a good football team. We got good facilities. We just put new HVAC units in all the buildings this year, and I was like, I watched them come in, and I'm like, I'm an engineer. I can help plan that stuff and make sure we have a proper funding for that. So I think we have lots of money coming in. We just have to figure out how to use it better. And I don't know about fighting for more money because it's always a back and forth. But I just feel like I'm here to help make good decisions.
Okay. And Calley.
I strongly believe that special education must be fully funded. Kansas law requires the state to cover 92% of special education costs, but that mandate hasn't been met since 2011. This chronic underfunding forces school districts to reduce staff, cut costs, cut extracurricular programs, activities from all students, and divert money from our general fund, affecting the entire district. Fully funding special education is not just our legal obligation, but a moral one. It ensures that every child receives the support they need to succeed. Adequate funding strengthens our entire education system and our community. Imagine what we could do with that extra funding. I'm looking at you, a pool would be so great. I once heard a superintendent say, you can do anything, you just can't do everything.
Okay. Now we'll move on to question number 3. The K-12 education system requires accountability measures for student performance focused on post-secondary success and career readiness. Do you believe the district is meeting expectations for student achievement? And we'll be back to starting with position number 4. And Nancy, you're up first.
Okay, repeat that question, please.
Okay. The K-12 education system requires accountability measures for student performance, focused on post-secondary success and career readiness. Do you believe the district is meeting expectations for student achievement?
Yes. I do believe that we are meeting expectations for student achievement. There can always be some things that can be made better, but we are doing a great job. We are number 2 in Kansas. And we have a wonderful district, and I love this district, and I love this area. So the assessment that they count on is brought down to us from KU, and it's what we base a lot of our stuff on I would try to say that we should have non-measure of success, which would be a lot of times post-secondary. We should measure more of our achievement and what the children are learning and what they're actually not. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank Thank you. And Lucy?
Sure. So I think the district does a fantastic job in preparedness. At the most recent board meeting, Adeline Zollner gave us a report about the district and how they did. At every grade level, we are significantly higher than the state average. And we are the #2 district in the state. So clearly we are doing something right to not only prepare students, but to give them all the tools that they need to succeed after high school. We have a 97.5 graduation rate. 84.6 is the national average. You don't reach the status of the second best district without staff and teachers who are working every day to help our kids. My job on the board will be to continue to listen to them and make decisions to support learning.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move to board position number 5, and Calley, you're up first this time.
We are so fortunate to have our CTech Center providing valuable real-world learning opportunities for our students, including welding classes, robotics, CNA program, culinary arts, and STEM. These programs play a crucial role in preparing students for career success. And while I believe the district is effectively meeting many student needs, there is always room for growth. We have a post-secondary success score of 70%, meaning our students go on to either go to college, get a certificate for a trade, or military. And our state average is 56.4, so we are well exceeding that state average. I think it just shows that we're setting our students up for success, whether that be college or career readiness.
Okay, great, thank you. Christian?
Yeah, we can skip the question, but I think the question is about targeting academic achievements on college readiness success, which might not be what we need to focus on. Like, we've been talking, Calley just had some great points about welding and all the things that we have set up, but like, what are we shooting for? Are we shooting for kids to go to college? Like, my kids are both AP, getting college credits already, so that's awesome, but there's other stuff out there. Like, I think AI is taking over the world, and maybe we need to be getting better with our hands. My kids don't go out and change the oil with me, which I do it all the time. I'm like, come on, let's go. But like, is college the thing that we need to focus on? I know it's important, obviously. I went there, my kids are going there, but it might not be the thing that we need to focus on to be successful.
Thank you. Board position 6, and Brandi, you're up first this time.
The district has a graduation rate of 97.5. You've already heard that. It is well above state average. USD 232 has been recognized by the Kansas Department of Education for post-secondary success. But we should always be striving for more to give our kids the best education advantages when they graduate, whether they go on to the workforce or college or a trade school. But right now, as Calley said, our post-secondary success rate is 70.1%. The state target is 70%, and the Johnson County average is 56.4%. I think we're doing really well there, but again, we can always strive for more.
Thank you. TJ?
Yeah, I do believe this district does a really good job with career readiness and getting our students ready for their post-secondary career, whether that be college or straight in the workforce, military, whatever it is. I think it's good. I think the big picture though is what's next and what can we do to make it better. I'm a huge component of collaborating with teachers. We've been doing this X amount of years with Silo and other things for grad paths. What's working, what didn't work, what would you change? And even bringing back alumni and from different fields, whether military, doctors, construction workers, any type of trade skill, and teachers, all the career fields out there, bring them back and say, hey, this is what you did in high school, and this is what you thought you were gonna do. How long did that path stay? Are you in the path that you were 7, 8 years ago? What would you have changed, or what advice could you give students at a younger age that you would have done differently? And making sure you just use all the resources to make sure kids have big picture ideas, and not so much tunnel vision when it comes to their individual post-secondary goals.
Okay, great. Thank you all. Move on, excuse me, to question number 4. Kansas is experiencing low unemployment rates and employers are struggling to find enough qualified workers. How do you see the school district helping to meet the business community's future workforce needs through work-based learning such as internships, apprenticeships, training, and other career exploration opportunities? And we'll start with board position number 5. Christian, you're up first this time.
2 years ago, I started a school for inspectors, because I do residential and commercial inspections for trade. But like everyone else is always looking for people, so I said I'm going to develop a school to actually develop people. Like I've already said, like I think we need to focus more on things that aren't necessarily based off of a computer and AI, and we need to know how to use those things. I mean, it's a great tool, but there's a lot of other things that we can focus on education and immersive education. My school is in a 100-year-old building in Bonner Springs. It's got a hole cut in the floor so people can go crawl around in the crawl space. And I just feel like getting into it is way different than talking about it and writing about it, but those things are really important. So I think it's just more of a well-rounded education process that I'm looking for.
Thank you. Calley?
USD is a major employer in the community with over 1,000 staff members, including teachers, administrators, aides, counselors, and support personnel, many of which live within our own community. We are so grateful to many community partners who have provided internships and career exploration for our students. Through the Eudora DeSoto Technical Education Center partnership, USD's students have gained access to specialized technical programs such as vehicle maintenance and repair, industry-recognized certifications such as CNA, EMS, animal science, along with hands-on project-based learning. I know recently we had our students partnering with Panasonic and our CTech Center to weld sculptures for not only the city of DeSoto, but Panasonic as well. We've had several internships at Merck and Futamaki that have been really great community partners for us here in DeSoto. And I look forward to continuing a lot of those community partnerships on the western side as well.
Great, thank you. We're moving to board position 6, and TJ, you're up first.
Thank you. I'm a big component of partnering and building relationships within this community and even outside the community. Partnering with businesses from all realm of skill and trade and employment, that we can get our kids in this district to have hands-on experience and get them into the workforce. For me, the biggest thing would be just to strike out, like giving kids an opportunity to try something and not like it and be okay with that. Instead of getting in the real world and you've got to make money and pay bills and then understand I don't want to do this, well, hopefully you can find that out earlier if we can get them kids into those employment opportunities to give them that chance. I'm a big component of even thinking outside of the community of Johnson County, all the opportunities we have to build relationships and work with even other school districts to say, hey, how do you guys do it, or what partners do you have, and maybe even sharing partnerships with certain businesses and trades to give kids the best chance to getting what they want out of this whole big picture idea, which is their future and their careers.
Thank you. And Brandi?
Real world learning is a big initiative in USD 232. I'm not sure I've sat in one school board meeting where we haven't discussed real world learning. The district has partnered with the Kauffman Foundation to strengthen readiness for students to learn and work. Cedar Trails Exploration Center, internship opportunities, and the goal of by 2030, every student will graduate with a diploma and with one or more market value assets are some of the goals that we have, or some of the things that we're doing in this district. I believe the district is striving to meet the business community's future workforce needs and is continuously changing to make sure we can accomplish that.
Thank you. And now, Lucy, you're up first this time.
Sure. So I think that preparedness is, we are doing well in that. I would say, like, as a product of USD 232, I feel like I'm doing okay. And so I love DeSoto because it's a small town, right? We love that small town feel. We love to be invested in our community and in the businesses in our community. So we have this unique opportunity in this small district that's actually quite large, but you know, especially here in DeSoto, that we can give them real world experience and they can have jobs to prepare them for whatever they go on to do next. Again, I think it's been said, C-Tech offers so many different pathways to help our students be ready. And I think that as we move forward, we're just gonna find more ways to help kids be as prepared as they can.
Thank you. Nancy?
Yeah, I think that the community has done an awesome job reaching out to the school district, and I think the school district has done an awesome job reaching out to all the business partners in the community. And we'll continue to do that. I think with all the business growth and all the new students that are going to be coming to our school district from all of the development, we need to reach out. There's a lot of job opportunities for the students, and you're right, C-Tech Pathways is one of our shining examples of what we can do in the high school levels. Community partners, employment opportunities will be numerous. We're a metro area of a large city with a lot of large companies here, not excluding all the other companies out in other cities close. So real world learning is something that we can offer all of our students at the high school level. Thank you.
Thank you all. Now we'll move to question number 5. What are your thoughts on efforts in the state legislature to expand school choice? We'll start with board position number 6, and Brandi, you're up first.
I'm an advocate for public education. I do not support tax dollars being diverted into private schools. Obviously, as a school board member, this is not under my purview, but as a citizen, I just can't advocate for that. We don't get the same, private schools don't have the same rules and oversight as we do in a public education, so I would like us to keep our tax dollars in public schools.
Thank you. TJ?
Yep. As far as the legislation goes with that, I would never make a decision on this board that would, in the end, weaken or make our public schools less funded. To me, it's more bigger picture of community and the districts within that community. So can we bring outside businesses to the community? Can we bring in hospitals, hotels, shopping centers, anything that would give us roof sizes to pay extremely high property tax to make this more of a greater community for the good, to possibly then look at funding for something like this. I'm gonna say possibly, I don't know. The money, the ratio, the percent, all that kind of stuff, that's a long, big decision, but it's based on legislation we get from the state. So you have to start there, and then we take what they give us, and then we figure out, is this possible? Like I said, it will never affect the funding of public schooling, and the numbers would have to be pretty ideal for something like this to happen in my eyes. But absolutely, public schooling first, and if there were opportunity to make a lot more money from outside resources and businesses, then we could possibly talk about it.
Thank you. Now board position 4, and Nancy, you're up first this time.
School choice. History shows that more government does not solve government problems. So we have legislated in the state of Kansas different programs that are a type of school choice. And one of it is the tax credit for low-income student scholarship program. Another is the open enrollment that we have for out-of-district public. The other is students can join sports through KSHA, and our virtual school programs are also another part of school choice. We have accredited private schools that are accredited through the government that are part of school choice. These things have not been looked at. A lot of people don't know about these programs, and they should be looked at before we're thinking about giving more government money to solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucy?
Public funds belong in public schools. There are proven ways I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted to say. Private school vouchers do not improve academic achievement. Studies on voucher programs show that vouchers do not result in better test scores, and many states led to declines in achievement. As a mom of a kid who goes to private school, it is astronomical what I pay. Now, worth every penny, absolutely. But of course, you could invest more in each student, as my opponent said. When you're paying $30,000 a year to a private school, and they're not receiving any taxpayer funds and they're doing just fine to invest more in a student. So I believe that tax dollars belong here, and yeah. And I think this is what I was like hallucinating on when I answered it. So if you read my response, that is not at all what I meant. Thanks.
Okay, board position 5, and Calley, you're up first this time.
I believe public dollars should remain in public schools where the public has oversight over those funds, where there's transparency with those funds, and there's accountability with those funds. School voucher programs divert critical funding away from public schools, which are required to serve all students. Private schools are not required to serve all students. Public funds should be used to strengthen public education, not subsidize private choice. Instead of sending money to private schools, we should focus on our public schools, where 90% of children attend. And lastly, I said it last week, but I still mean it this week. If you want to run our public schools, you first have to believe in our public schools.
Thank you. And Christian?
I believe in our public schools, but I also believe in private schools, so I'm gonna say I disagree with Calley. I think some funds can be directed to private schools. I think private schools are kind of an alternative to public schools, and if we don't have those, then we might have to have our own alternative schools. Like, there's people that just don't fit in to the system. I'm actually supporting a student at Maranatha right now, even though both of my kids are going to Mill Valley, which I love. So I think there's room for all of us, and private school parents pay taxes too.
Thank you. And on to our last question before we go to closing statements. Question number 6. Other than funding, what do you see as the greatest challenge facing the district? And we're back to board position number 4. And first up would be Lucy this time.
Sure. So I think AI is something that we hear all of the time, and around that, we're all still learning about AI and how to use it appropriately and for the best benefit of students. So we need guardrails, not walls. They need to know how to use it as well, continue to be a part of their daily lives. At the same time, research is starting to show that over-reliance on AI is detrimental to critical thinking. This is where teachers' expertise and professional development are going to be key. We need to provide opportunities for our teachers and staff to learn about how to harness the power of AI without over-relying upon it. And then they can use those tools with the students in the classroom. I think there's a lot of good that can come from AI. It can help your imagination. It can help with grammar and articulation. There's so many great things about it. We don't need to be scared. We just need to understand it, and through that, it's there with the teachers and professional development and making sure that they have that.
Thank you. Nancy?
Repeat the question.
The question is, other than funding, what do you see as the greatest challenge facing the district?
Other than funding, I think funding is the greatest challenge, but I would say managing the budget would probably be one of the biggest challenges. With the work that's being done at the national level to cut funds, the work that's being done at the state level to cut funds to all the districts. We will need to look at the budget and keep all the appropriate programs that we need to keep going. And we can do that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Board Position 5, and Christian, you're up first.
I think we just need to manage our resources better. As comment, we just got, it's a tool, but we gotta have a well-rounded education, I think is the biggest part. And just putting our dollars in the right place is really what matters. Like, we can't just be spending money on things that don't matter.
Thank you. Calley?
Our district is experiencing steady enrollment growth, making us one of the few districts in Johnson County facing this dynamic. I would say predicting and forecasting that growth for the future is one of our greatest challenges. While growth is a positive sign of a thriving community and strong schools, it also brings significant planning challenges, particularly in the areas of staffing, facilities, budgeting. We are working closely with a company that forecasts our growth, and we as a board also voted to purchase land in the event that we need to build quickly. We also plan to work with architects and contractors to create a task force of parents, teachers, stakeholders to help kind of address this growth and really take the community's input on what is this growth going to look like for our district. I'm excited to see what that leads to.
Thank you. Board Position 6, and TJ, you're up first this time.
Thank you. Big challenge and thing I see with this district, like I mentioned last week, is catching early on students who fall behind in fundamental literacy and math skills. Getting the right early intervention programs in there for teachers and staff that help support these kids to help shrink that gap, because as they get into middle school age and high school, they'll be on career paths or post-secondary readiness skills that they're going to have those basic math and literacy skills to have. So getting the right targeted professional development, give teachers the tools they need to see these things and be able to catch it early on. Give those students the supports and materials they need to improve their skills to the best of their ability will help them in the long run. No matter what that might be, their best might not be better than others, and that's okay. But we as a district really need to make sure we're giving them very fundamental math and reading skills to give them the best chances to succeed in life. And that's not even as an employee, but it's just in life in general. Those are the skills you will use forever. And catching those kids that fall behind early on, getting them in the right programs to give them the supports they need.
Thank you. And Brandi?
Yes, every year in the school board, we have a consultant who has provided enrollment demographics and projections for us. And almost every school board meeting we talk about growth. Although live births in Johnson County are declining, our district's enrollment has continued to rise. Much of this growth is driven by new housing developments and expanding neighborhoods within our boundaries. As a result, it's become increasingly difficult to accurately plan for staffing, facilities, and budget needs. To ensure that we are prepared for the future, it's critical that we closely monitor population trends and potential areas of growth over the next 5 to 10 years.
Thank you. And now we're going to move to closing statements. Candidates will have 2 minutes each to present closing statements. Please be sure to highlight what distinguishes you from your opponent in this race and making you best suited to serve. We'll start with Board Position 5, and Calley, you would be up first this time.
Well, I bring a steady, experienced leadership as your current board member. What sets me apart is my deep hands-on understanding of our district's inner workings, its staff, its students, administrations, and its challenges. Since joining the board, I've attended over 50 regular and special meetings and dedicated hundreds of hours to supporting our schools. I had hopes my opponent would take interest and attend a school board meeting, but to my knowledge, he has not attended a single one. I made it a point to learn as much as I possibly could. I visited every school in the district, meeting with principals, administrators, and stakeholders to gain a full understanding of our district's operations and needs. On a recent questionnaire, my opponent said teachers need support, but he doesn't believe they need raises. I voted year after year for teacher raises without raising taxes. We can't support our educators without investing in them. From day one, I was committed to learning everything I could to serve effectively and be prepared and make good decisions. I studied diligently, I asked questions, and I listened because our students, our families, and our staff deserve nothing less. I met with people that weren't like me. I met with people that had different views than me to get a better understanding of their perspective. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished in these last 4 years. I proudly served on the board, during which I had dedicated all of my time to a district that I love and I love deeply, and who has brought so much to my family. At a time when we face uncertainty with funding and rapid growth, a new superintendent, what our school needs is steady, experienced leadership, and I bring that stability. I've been deeply involved in the work that shapes our district. I'm active in many areas of the district, and as a parent of young children, I am personally invested in the long-term success of our schools. We have another decade in USD 232. The results speak for themselves. During my time on the board, our district was ranked and maintained the #2 school district in the state of Kansas. That does not happen by accident. We've made incredible progress, and I believe we can achieve even more. Why change what's not working, but what's working exceptionally well? There's still work ahead, and I look forward to continuing that work with dedication and experience.
Thank you. Christian?
Calley, thank you so much for your dedication to the district over the last 4 years, and you've done a great job, and my kids are doing great. I think what I bring is a fresh look at things and an invigorated spirit. I started a school 2 years ago, and I'm just passionate about education. I'm an inspector, and I want to grow men, and I want to grow kids. I just have a passion for the way that people turn out. My life has kind of changed over the last few years. I've found God. I've always been around the church, but I've been diving more into my spiritual journey lately, and I just care about people a lot more, and I really want our kids to succeed. So thanks so much for what you've done, but I just feel like with my background and the things that I've done, that I'm really good at making decisions, and I can really move the board forward from where we're at today.
Thank you, Christian. And board position 6, Brandi, you'd be up first this time.
I just met TJ last week, and he seems extremely nice, and I appreciate his past teaching and coaching in our district. I have lived in the district for more than 21 years. I've continuously volunteered for the school district in my community for the past 15 years. I've continued for the past 4 years to dedicate myself to the school district as on school board and being vice president of the school board. I'm a small business owner where I work with budgets and lead project management. For the past 4 years, I have been very proud of our accomplishments on board. We have passed budgets that have allowed us to pay off our bond debt early, saving taxpayers millions of dollars. We've continuously voted to raise teacher pay and staff pay. I'm exceptionally proud of our student accomplishments in the classrooms, in athletics, and in extracurricular activities. We graduated 97.5% of our students. Our post-secondary success rate measured by the state is well above the Johnson County average. We are DeSoto, USD 232. I want to continue our tradition of excellence. I would appreciate your vote on November 4th.
Thank you. TJ?
Thank you. I believe my firsthand experience in the classroom gives me a deep understanding of the challenges faced by both students and educators. I know what it takes to create a positive learning environment and how policies, decisions impact the day-to-day experience in our schools. I also have a strong connection in the community, allowing me to listen, collaborate, and advocate effectively for everyone. I'm not just familiar with education, I've lived it and worked in it. That perception sets me apart and gives me the insight needed to make informal, student-focused decisions. DeSoto 232 is who I am. I've lived it for a long time. It's my passion, it's what I love. I was offered and approached last spring for a new position I currently have in another school, and it was something after meeting with administrators, other teachers in this district, and collaborating with so many people that I couldn't turn down. It's something that I will be able to say I did for the rest of my life, but it's something I know, now what can I do for DeSoto? Absolutely, let's go out to the school board and give back to something that's given me so much. I love everything about this community, and I will do whatever I can for the students and the teachers and every community member that has an issue or something to deal with. I'm on your side. I'm one for all for one, and I love this district with all my heart. And like Brandi said, I met you last week, nothing bad. Respect all these people for getting up here and doing this for the kids in the community. And like Brandi said also, we would love your vote November 4th for TJ Finan, School Board 232. Thanks.
Thank you. And now board position number 4, and Nancy, would you go first, please?
Well, I would say vote Moneymaker for DeSoto School Board. I'll represent and advocate for students, for teachers, for the community around our school. And with my questions and my votes, I will represent you wisely. I will help with the budget, which is a good forte of mine. I started a business and it ran very fiscally responsibly for many years until I moved back to Kansas and married my husband. And I worked for a lab where I've had to follow specific protocols and follow policy. And I've started and nurtured a school where that school is still running today. So my website is nancymoneymaker.com, and you can find a lot of the other things that we haven't covered here on my website, or email me at nancy@nancymoneymaker.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, finish with Lucy.
I decided to run for school board because I believe in public education. I received a wonderful education from USD 232 that prepared me for college and the real world. I know that families want representation from someone who knows the district as a graduate and as a parent of students currently enrolled in the district. I have no agenda. If you Google my name, it does not say politician underneath it, and I have never run for multiple political seats. Unfortunately, my opponent does not have that direct experience like I do. I am devoted to public schools, and my actions speak to that. And as a mom of a child with a true educational need, I have more of a vested interest in our district for many, many years to come. And personally, I think about Corey's empty chair philosophy, that there's a chair that sits there, and before every board meeting starts, he says, this is an empty chair, put any student in the district in that chair and make decisions for them. And as a mom, I can see the student, like I can put a student there because I'm in the schools, I'm volunteering. My child has an IEP, or will when he comes back, and that makes me truly invested in the district, and I just want to give back. So I'd appreciate your vote on November 4th as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Would you all please join me in a round of applause for everyone? Thank you all for participating this evening. Thank you for running and being part of the public process. That is so important. Regardless of how it turns out, to just have these kind of conversations and dialogue, we really appreciate that. This concludes our forum for the USD 232 Board Candidate Forum. Thank you, candidates, again. On behalf of the DeSoto Chamber of Commerce and the Johnson County Public Policy Council, thank you to everyone for taking advantage of this important opportunity to learn more about the candidates. I encourage you, if you have a minute, to come up and greet them afterwards. For more information about candidates, videos of these and other candidate forums, and advanced voting details, visit www.votejoco.com, and please share this voter resource with your colleagues, family, and friends. And again, on behalf of the DeSoto Chamber of Commerce, thank you for participating in this candidate forum, and we wish you all the best of luck with your campaign. Thank you.